Welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros. And in today's video, we're going to be getting into strategy and we're going to get into Bitcoin and some of the traditional market news. So make sure to stay tuned. A lot of information in today's video. I'm going to try to get through it here. But as you can see, strategy has a new preferred offering, STRE. We talked about this in some of our previous videos, but this is our offering that is targeting the European market. And we can see that there is a lot of demand in the European market. They initially IPO'd at the $350 million offering, and it got upsized to 620 million euros. So this is around 700 million US. So we'll see a Bitcoin purchase from Strategy. They probably are going to buy it next week. So some Bitcoin buying pressure coming next week from Strategy. And that's not going to be announced on this Monday, but the Monday after next, we'll probably see this Bitcoin buy get added into the strategy stack. So that is a catalyst that we can look out to for next week. And then if we look at the price, it's down to 227, down around 4% here today. And if you look at where the market cap is at around $65 billion, and the Bitcoin net asset value at around 64.6 billion, you can see that the MNAV has completely shrunken. We're almost to 1 MNAV. And that may be a good indicator to buy strategy right now at the 1 MNAV. Now, we could definitely go below that 1 MNAV, as we've seen in other Bitcoin treasury companies and that we've seen in the past, especially in Bitcoin bear markets. So if Bitcoin does trade down 50% next year, we do get that 4-year cycle and Bitcoin goes down to, let's say, $50,000, we'll probably see the market cap go below the Bitcoin net asset value. But that's just going to be another buy the dip opportunity. And for all the trolls in the comment section, you guys are, talking about, how bad strategy has been as a recent investment, that's fine. But if you still look over a 1.5, 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year time frame, strategy is still outperforming Bitcoin. And on our channel, we never said that strategy is going to do a 5, 10x this year. We thought that if Bitcoin went to $150,000 by the end of the year, we'd see around a $450 to $600 strategy price. That's kind of what we've been saying all year. But the thesis is that over the next 5 years, around 2030, we think Bitcoin gets to around $1 million. And if strategy has, 700,000 Bitcoin with a Bitcoin at $1 million, we believe strategy will outperform BTC from here. That is not financial advice. That is just our opinion and what we're seeing for the future. And I think as there's more hype and FOMO in the market, the MNAV premiums will expand again. Just right now, that's not happening because right now there's a lot of fear in the market and Bitcoin has not done well this year. It's only up 7%. And that's probably one of the reasons why strategy has been so bad this year in terms of year-to-date price action. And then if you look at the most actively traded U.S. stocks here, strategy coming in around the top 10 here at around a $1.3 billion market cap. So it's really good to see that strategy is still trading with some of the top market cap companies in the world, even with the recent price action. If you look at where they're at in the top market cap companies, we're down 16 spots today in the U.S. And what's really interesting, we could see a year-to-date low for strategy, but then next month we could see strategy get included in an S&P 500. That is something that is not out of the realm of possibility. So there's another catalyst next month. We could see strategy get added in there. And also just to talk to all the hecklers in the comment section, you guys remind me a lot of the people who were, in 2022 on our Instagram page, on our YouTube page, they were saying Bitcoin was around $19,000. A lot of people were saying Bitcoin's going down to 10, it's going down to 5, it's going to 0. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. Right now, you see the fear really start to come out in the comment sections and on Twitter, and that's exactly what you're seeing now. And that a lot of the times is a buying signal. That is what we've seen since we've been in the space since 2016. So take that for what it is. But let's go ahead and get into some of the traditional news. Right now, one of the hot subjects in the market is the government shutdown. And the government shutdown is, we're seeing things like federal workers' unemployment claims surging over 1,200%. We're seeing the traditional stock market sell off. We're seeing Bitcoin sell off because there's a lot of fear in the market because this is the longest government shutdown in history. And it doesn't look like it's going to be ending anytime soon because when we look at the prediction markets here and we see when will the government shutdown end, we can see the number one choice is after November 16th. And the shorter time frames, the percent chance is going down, while the longer time frames after November 16th, you can see it's going up. So until all this gets figured out, it's looking like the market's going to continue to be in fear from the government shutdown not ending. And this is affecting the Fed rate a little bit here, the Fed rate monitor tool. Right now, we're pricing in around 64% chance that the Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates 25 basis points on December 10th. And then there's a 36% chance that there's going to be no rate cut at all. So that is something you have to take in consideration. If we don't get a rate cut in December, the market might not like that. But if we see here, this is something we've been looking at for a while. This is the current business cycle. When you compare ISM to the Bitcoin implied ISM pricing, we've seen historically Bitcoin has followed this to a T. So when ISM goes above 50, that means businesses are expanding. So you can see in the past when ISM is expanding, Bitcoin is going up right along with it. And when ISM is contracting, Bitcoin is going down right along with it. Right now, ISM has been below 50 for an extended period of time. And throughout history, if you look at the ISM chart, we haven't seen ISM below 50 for this long ever in history. But Bitcoin follows ISM. And as you can see, it's continuing to follow it. And eventually, if history plays out like how it has before, ISM will be going above 50 and going up like how it has back here. And the current business cycle is just taking longer to play out. So once that happens, we could see Bitcoin follow ISM into 2026 with the price going to the upside. That is something to watch out for. And then we're going to get into some more Bitcoin news in a second here, but I do want to share with you guys some iTrustCapital. They have a $100 funding bonus. Right now, if you sign up with iTrustCapital, they're giving you guys $100 for free. And then you can use that $100 to buy Bitcoin. And with iTrustCapital, you can sign up and use their PCA account if you want. And the way they have PCA set up is institutional custody, so you can hold your Bitcoin just like Strategy does or BlackRock. And what other crypto exchanges I've seen, when accounts have gotten hacked, people who have their accounts with other crypto exchanges, those funds have been drained because the hackers send those funds out and then they mix the funds. But with PCA, that is not able to happen. They changed the security up a bit and it's a lot more secured for Bitcoin and other crypto assets. So make sure to check out their premium custody account. And they also have their IRA products. So if you have any retirement accounts that you're looking to roll over, if you want to start a new retirement account, you can do that with iTrustCapital. And you can hold Bitcoin directly. And they're giving you guys $100 just to check it out using the link in the comment section and the description below. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it, but you still get that free $100. So highly recommend you guys check that out. But let's go ahead and get into some more Bitcoin news. We have JP Morgan. They increased their IBIT holdings up 64% over the last quarter. So it's worth $343 million. So JP Morgan is, the CEO was talking bad about Bitcoin a couple of years ago. And, back in 2017, he put out the warning, if you're an employee of JP Morgan and you hold Bitcoin, you will be fired. So this guy's definitely not a fan of Bitcoin, but don't listen to what they say. Watch what they're doing. So JP Morgan, a big holder of BTC there. And then you have the Trump family. They're continuing to buy more and more Bitcoin. 139 BTC, 8 BTC now holds 4,000 Bitcoin. Now, where everybody's panicking in the markets right now, you're seeing the Trump family who has inside connections. They're continuing to buy more and more Bitcoin. So that could be telling there. And then you have Tether buying the dip. They bought 961 Bitcoin, which is a little bit out of the ordinary for Tether. Normally they're buying around 8.8K Bitcoin every quarter. They take some of their profits and they buy Bitcoin. But we saw a 961 Bitcoin purchase. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue on with the 8.8K Bitcoin purchase later this quarter, or how that's going to happen. Maybe they're slowing down the purchasing. But in my thoughts, I think maybe Tether is buying the dip here. They're seeing something that other people are not. So they bought another $100 million of BTC. And right now, Tether holds around 88,000 Bitcoin. And they're the second biggest private company with Bitcoin on the balance sheet as of right now. And then you have Jack Dorsey's Block. They bought an additional 88 Bitcoin. So if you guys didn't know, Block was the second public company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet right after Strategy. So it's good to see that they're continuing to put more Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And Jack Dorsey did come on and say that Block is going to be putting some profits into Bitcoin every single quarter. And that's what they're doing there. And one thing that we have to always watch out for is the OG whale dumping. We've been seeing a massive amount of OG whale dumping this year with Bitcoin that was older than 7 years. These orange lines are around $100 million sales, but the red lines are around $1 to $2 billion sales. So you can see there's been a massive amount of selling pressure from the Bitcoin OGs this year. But this is actually good to see because these OGs don't have unlimited amounts of BTC. And then if we get into the Bitcoin ETFs, this is the last thing I have for today's video, guys. We've been seeing a lot of red over the past couple weeks, but we finally got our first green day on November 6th with around $240 million. So that is really good to see there that the ETFs are now buying more Bitcoin. But that is all I had for today's video, guys. Hope you found some value. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.